Hello, future engineers. There is a video in Algebra 0 about topics in algebra, and as engineering students, you should master familiar with series and figure numbers as part of your preparations to engineering life. So here we go. First, let's have series and figure numbers. The first one is Fibonacci sequence, which is defined as a sequence of numbers in which any number in the sequence corresponds to the number or to the sum of the preceding two numbers. And it's important that you familiar with the first two numbers, and from there apply this principle of the definition of Fibonacci sequence. So it begins with 1, 1. So that 1 plus 1 is 2. The next number should be 2. Then 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 5, 8, and so on and so forth. So 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, 89, 144, etc. So to help explain, so take note that you base from the definition, this number here is the sum of the preceding two numbers. So this number 1 here, you just imagine that there is 0 here. So that's why 0 plus 1 is 1. So 3 is 1 plus 2. 5 is 2 plus 3. 8 is 3 plus 5. 13 is 5 plus 8. 21 is 8 plus 13. 34 is 13 plus 21. 55 is 21 plus 34. 89 is 34 plus 55, and so on and so forth. So that by that principle, and I hope that you can remember this sequence or pattern. Next is locus sequence. Just like Fibonacci sequence, it is similar in concept, but the first two numbers would be 1 and 3. So that locus sequence will have so that this is the definition. So in locus sequence we have 1, 3, 4, then 3 plus 4, 7, then 4 plus 7, 11, 7 plus 11, 18, then 11 plus 18, 29, 18 plus 29, 47. So it's same principle as that of the Fibonacci sequence. So 47 plus 76 is 123, 76 plus 123, 199. So notice that it's the same in principle. But I want you to familiar, because this is the key for Fibonacci sequence, the first two numbers 1, 1, and for locus sequence 1, 3. The rest you should be able to write all the succeeding terms or numbers in Fibonacci sequence and in locus sequence. Next is the triangular number. A triangular number is a sequence of numbers in which any number represents the number of identical objects needed to form the shape of an equilateral triangle. So notice that one example of this is the piling of billiard balls 1 to 15. So the beginning number is 1. Then we need two objects in the next layer to maintain the triangular shape arrangement. Then we need 3 in the next row, 4, 5, and so on and so forth. So we notice that this sequence is also the sum of the digits of counting numbers, the sum of 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, and so on and so forth. So these numbers would be 1 because the topmost object consists of only 1. Then in the next layer we have 2, So that's why 1 plus 2 is 3. Then 3 plus in the next layer 3, so 6. Then 6 plus in the next layer 4 is 10. Then 15, 21, 20, 28, 36, 45, 55, 66. So in general, because these are the sum of counting numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. So we use the formula in arithmetic progression, which can be derived later, as n times n plus 1 whole over 2. Or this makes sense. Any number is the position of that number times n plus 1 divided by 2. Or simply the product of n, then the next number divided by 2. So let me explain so that you don't need to memorize this formula. You just base it on the principle and definition. So imagine that we arrange identical objects in triangular manner. The topmost number would be 1 because the topmost object is 1. So take note also that these numbers are the sum of the digits used in sum of years digit method of depreciation in engineering economy. So to demonstrate, this is the triangle number 1, in the next layer 2, next layer 3, in the next layer 4, and so on and so forth, 5, 6, and so on and so forth. So that's why the triangle numbers are 1, and 1 plus 2 is 3, then 3 plus 3 is 6, then 6 plus 4 is 10, then the next is 5, so 10 plus 5 is 15, next layer is 6, so 15 plus 6, 21, next layer is 7, 21 plus 7, 28, then 8, 28 plus 8, 36, then 36 plus 9, 45, 45 plus 10, 55, 55 plus 11, 66, 66 plus 12, 78, and so on and so forth. So forth in that pattern. So that's it. That's the principle. That's triangular numbers. Then we proceed to gnomons. So this is a sequence of numbers representing the number of identical objects when equally arranged along perpendicular legs of an isosceles right triangle. These are also odd numbers. So if we describe odd numbers by a formula, of course, it is in general 2n minus 1, and n is from 1 to any value. So that's the definition of gnomons, and the illustration would be as shown. And so that's why you have 1, next is 3, plus 2, 5, plus 2, 7. So these are actually odd numbers and described by a formula 2n minus 1, where n is from 1 to any value. So that's why 2 times 1 minus 1 is 1, 2 times 2 minus 1 is 3, 2 times 3 minus 1 is 5. So simply add numbers. Remember, gnomons add numbers. Then next is perfect squares. Of course, you know this: 1 square 1, 2 square 4, 3 square 9, 4 square 16, 5 square 25, 6 square 36, 7 square 49, 8 square 64, 9 square 81, 10 square 100, 11 square 121, 12 square 144, and so on and so forth, 13 square 169. So it is described by, of course, n square. So I hope that you know this. And if we describe it by arranging identical objects in this manner, so we have 1, then 2 by 2, 3 by 3. So these are the number of objects required to arrange identical objects in a square arrangement. Next, we have cubical numbers or perfect cubes: 1 cube, 3, 2 cube, 8, 3 cube, 27, 4 cube, 64, 5 cube, 125, 6 cube, 216, 7 cube, 343, 8 cube, 516, 512 rather, and so on and so forth. And described by n cube, of course. So this is 10 cube, 1000, n cube. Next is oblong numbers. Numbers in a series representing the number of objects formed in rectangular arrangement. So the number of objects in one side is 1 less than the number of objects on the other side. So the arrangement would be 1 by 2. So it begins with 2, 2 by 3, which is 6, so 6, then 3 by 4, which is 12, 4 by 5, which is 20, 5 by 6, 30, 6 by 7, 42, 7 by 8, 56, 8 by 9, 72, 9 by 10, 90, 10 by 11, 110, 11 by 12, 132, and so on and so forth. So in this arrangement here, we call the number of objects representing the numbers of objects required to arrange them in rectangular manner, where one dimension is one less than the dimension of the other. So 1 by 2, it begins with 1 by 2, so that's why we have two objects, so it begins with 2. The next is 2 by 3, 6, 3 by 4, and so on and so forth, in that manner. So 2 is 1 by 2, 6 is 2 by 3, 12 is 3 by 4, 20 is 4 by 5, 5 by 6, 6 by 7, 7 by 8, 8 by 9, 9 by 10, 10 by 11, 11 by 12, and so on and so forth. So going back to these triangular numbers, take note that the difference between two adjacent triangular numbers would be in progression with common difference 1. So for instance, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on and so forth. That manner. So to continue, let's proceed to tetrahedral numbers. And we define it as a sequence of numbers in which any number in the sequence corresponds to the number of identical objects arranged in a pyramidal form. So the base would be a right triangle. And we imagine that the uppermost object is on top of the next layer would be 3. So imagine that one object over 3 objects, 3 identical objects. These 3 objects will be over 6 identical objects. Then the 6 identical objects will be over 10 identical objects. So we notice that the triangular arrangements in each layer would be triangular numbers also. So we imagine that this is the topmost object, and this topmost object is over 3 objects in triangular, so that 1 is over the 3 objects. Next is the next layer, because the principle is this number of objects in each layer would be triangular numbers. So the 3 objects will be over 6 identical objects. The 6 objects will be over the next triangular number is 10. So over 10, these 10 objects, identical objects, will be over the next triangular number is 15. So therefore it begins with 1, and because the next layer consists of 3 identical objects, 1 plus 3 is 4, so 1, 4. Then next is 6, 4 plus 6 is 10. So the next is 10, the next tetrahedral number is 10. Then the 10 identical objects which forms a triangle would be over the next triangular number is 15. So again, 10 plus 10 is 20, then 20 plus 15, 35. The next layer would be 21, so 35 plus 21 is 56. So these are the tetrahedral numbers: 1, 4, 20, 35, 56, 84, 120, 165, etc. So this is the explanation. By the way, it can be described by the formula: number of combinations of n things taken 3 at a time. So it begins with 3 only. N, it should be greater or equal to 3. The rest, the numbers before n is 3 couldn't be described by this formula here. Only for n greater than or equal to 3. So for instance, 3C3, so 1. Then 4C3, 4 combinations taken 3 at a time would be 4. 5C3 is 10, and so on and so forth. So, but do not memorize the formula. This is the way to remember it. So 1 over, so that's why we have 1, the first tetrahedral number, over 3. There are 3 identical objects in the next layer, and 3 is a triangular number. So that's why 1 plus 3 is 4. Next is 6. So 4 plus 6 is 10. And 6 over 10. Take note that the number of objects in each layer corresponds to triangular numbers. So 10 plus 10 is 20. Then 10 over 15, that's why 20 plus 15 is 35. Then 15 over 21, that's why 35 plus 21 is 56. 21 over 28, the next triangular number, is, so 28, 56 plus 28 is 84. Next is 36, 84 plus 36 is 120. Next triangular number is 45. So 120 plus 45, 165, and so on and so forth in that pattern. Next, we have square pyramidal numbers. So instead of pyramid, which is triangular in its layer, we have a pyramid with square base. So that's the idea. So a sequence of numbers in which any number in the sequence corresponds to the number of identical objects arranged in a pyramidal form with square base. So imagine that the topmost object, which consists of only 1, so the first square pyramidal number would be 1 over next layer, which is a square, perfect square. 2 square is 4, so 1 plus 5 is 4. And notice that the difference between these square pyramidal numbers is a perfect square. So 4, 2 square, 9, 3 square, 16, 4 square, 25, 5 square, and so on and so forth. So 1 is over 4 identical objects. So it's not complete. This is the third layer, 3 by 3. That's why there are 9 identical objects. Above it is 2 by 2, which is 4. And above 4 is 1 square. So 1 plus 4 is 5. Then 5 plus 9 is 14. Then the next layer is perfect square, 4 square, 16. So that's why 14 plus 16 is 30. Next is 5 square, 25. Next layer, 25. 30 plus 25 is 55. Next is 6 square, 36. 55 plus 6 square, 91. 91 plus 7 square, 140. 140 plus 8 square, 204. 204 plus 9 square, 285. 285 plus 10 square, which is 100, is 385. 385 plus 11 square, which is 121, 506. 506 plus 12 square, which is 144, is 650, and so on and so forth. So that's it. You don't need really to memorize. Just remember the definition and the shape of these numbers arrangements. Tetrahedral, square, pyramid, but the base is always an equilateral triangle or triangular numbers. Then we have square pyramidal, which is still a pyramid, but the base is a square. So that's the principle. So let's have these two examples. Problem 1. What follows logically in the series of numbers below? So 15, 16, 21, 35, 65, 120, blank. So X. So we will call the missing number as X. So we will call it X. So let's use yellow. So we'll call this X, and for the solution, notice that the difference between 15 and 16 is 1. The difference between 16 and 21 is 5. Then 14. Then 30. X is 35, 55. And notice that this difference would be this square pyramidal numbers here, because after 55 is 91. This is 91. Therefore, X is equal to 120 plus 91. So 120 plus 91 is equal to 211. So that's why the answer is 211 as shown. Then for problem 2, find the missing number in the series. So call this X again. Notice that the difference between adjacent numbers in the series, this is 1, next is 3, 6, 10, 15, 21. And notice that these are triangular numbers. Since the next triangular number is 28, then this is 36 for checking purposes, and next is 45. So notice that 192 plus 45 is 237. So that's why the series is correct. And let's solve for x. X therefore is equal to 128 plus 28. And 128 plus 28 is 156. So that's why the answer here is 156, shown in the figure. So we then proceed to the next concept, and that is about the basics of algebra. So we begin first with the basics of algebra, the definition of the degree of a polynomial. So we have the degree of a polynomial is the highest degree of each term. So for example, we have 2x squared plus 2x squared y squared. So we have 2x squared y squared, y to the fourth rather, plus 5x cubed y to the fifth plus z to the 9. So this is a trinomial, and for this first term the degree is 6, 2 plus 4 is 6. For the second term the degree is 8, and for the third term the degree is 9. Because the highest degree of each term of this trinomial is 9, the degree of this trinomial therefore is 9. So the answer is 9 for that case. Then we define factoring as the process of expressing a number or an algebraic expression as products of prime numbers or prime expressions. So in algebra, if you can remember, prime factors are factors which can no longer be factored anymore. So that's why we need to define first prime or composite or integral numbers are those that are not prime numbers. The multiples of a given natural number are those natural numbers greater than 1 that are exactly divisible by the given natural numbers. So that's it. That's the definition. So the multiples of a given natural number are those natural numbers greater than 1 that are exactly divisible by the given natural number. For example, multiple of 6, of course, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 56. Notice that all these numbers are divisible by 6. So that's why multiples of 6 would be this. Multiples of 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and so on and so forth. Multiples of 8, 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, and so on and so forth. So that's about multiples of a number. The greatest common divisor, or GCD, is the largest natural number that is a common factor of all even numbers. So that's the definition. The greatest common divisor is the largest natural number that is a common factor of all even numbers. So for instance, if we are asked about the GCD of 60 and 90, and it is what is the largest natural number that is a common factor of all of 60 and 90. That is 30. To do that, one technique is we write the multiples of 60. So I'll put it here. So 60 multiples are 2, 4 factors are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 60. So 10 is next, 12, 15, 20, 30, then 60. While 90 was 2, 3, 5. It's also divisible by, it is also divisible by 6. 4. 90 divided by 4 is not. So 6, 10. It is divisible by 15. 16, 17, 18 divisible by 18. 20, no, not 20. 30 is the next. Then 45 and 90. So that's why the greatest common divisor is, if you notice, 30. So the answer is 30. Then another way is we factor completely each number. So 60 is 4 times 15. It is also 4 times 15. 4 times 3 times 5. So that is 2 squared, because these are prime factors, times 3 times 5. 90 on the other hand is 9 times 10, 2 times 3 squared, 2 times 3 squared times 5. Then the GCD is the product of common prime factors with the least exponent. So 2 is common and the least is 2. 3 is also common and the least is 3. 5 is also common and the least is 5. That's why the GCD is 2 times 3 times 5 is indeed 60. So that's it. Next, we proceed to the greatest common factor. So the greatest common factor is the GCD of the given expressions. So that's the definition. So GCD is applicable to numbers, while GCF is applicable to algebraic expressions. So GCD of 4x squared to 6x to the fourth, 12x to the fifth. So just like what we did here, let's have this technique. So 4x squared is, I'll put the solution here. 4x squared is 2 squared times x squared. 6x to the fourth is 2 times 3 times x to the fourth, and 12x to the fifth is 2 squared times 3 times x to the fifth. So 2 is common to all, and the GCF, so for 2, the least common factor is 2. So we write 2. 3 is not common because 4x squared has no 3 as a factor. So we do not write it here. For x, it's common, and the least exponent is x squared, therefore x squared. Therefore, the GCF for this problem is 2x to the 2. So 2x squared, that's the greatest common factor. We then proceed to the next concept about the least common multiple. The least common multiple of 2 or more natural numbers is the smallest natural number for which all given numbers are factors. So, example, find the LCM of 60, 90, and 150. So for this example, I'll put the solution here. So we already completely factored 60, 90. I'll just factor completely 150, and the least common multiple is the concept, or the technique is very opposite to finding the GCD. So 150 is 15 times 10. 15 is 3 times 5. 10 is 2 times 5. So therefore it is 2 times 3 times 5 squared. That's the complete factored form of 50. So the LCM is, we collect the different prime factors of the numbers with the highest, not common this time, with the highest exponent. So 2, though 2 is common, as I said, common or uncommon, there's no problem. For 2, the highest is 2 squared, so it is 2 squared. Then for 3, the highest is 3 squared, so times 3 squared. And for 5, the highest is 5 squared. So even if it is not common, you can still consider it as a value in computing for the LCM, in determining the LCM. So the LCM LCM therefore is 2 squared times 3 squared times 5 squared. And that is 2 squared is 4 times 9 squared, 3 squared 9. So 36 times 25. 36 times 25 is, I think, 900. 30 carry 3. So 15, 18 carry 18. Then 12 carry 1 to 7. So 0, 10 carry 1. So it's really 900. So the LCM for this case is 900. Another technique is we write the multiples of each: 60, 120, and so on, 90, 180, 270, 360, and so on and so forth. 150, multiples of 150, 150, 300, and so on and so forth. And you notice that the least common multiple is 900. So that's another technique, but this is the fastest way in finding the LCM of numbers. Next is the least common denominator. So the LCD is simply the LCM of the denominators. And we use this in adding fractions manually. But of course, this is good in elementary, high school, where you are not required to use the calculator. So in this case, the LCD of 8, 4, and 10, 8 is 2 cubed, 4 is 2 squared, and 10 is 2 times 5. Therefore, the LCD is 2 cubed times 5, and that is 40. So 40 LCD divided by 8, 5 times 3, 15. Then 40 divided by 4 is 10 times 5. So 5 times 10. Then 7 times 40 divided by 10 is 4 times 4. 15, 65 plus 28. 65 plus 28 is 93. 93 over 40. And you can check that with your calculator. 3/8 plus 5 over 4 plus 7 over 10 is indeed 93 over 40 manually. But of course, do not expect that in the board exam because calculators are allowed. Just a concept. Then finally, we have definition of a prime number, which is a number which has no other factors other than itself and 1. So the smallest prime number is 2. So it begins with 2, not by 1. Remember that. Then 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29, 31, 37, 41, 43, 47, 53, 59, 61, 67, 71, 73, 79, 83, 89, 97, 101, 103, 107, 109, 113, then 117, and so on and so forth. Now, you might ask, what if the number is very large? There's a technique in determining whether or not the given large number is a prime number or a composite number. So that's it for this video. We'll have examples on the next video, the continuation of this Algebra 0.